Hey everybody, my name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Friday, August 16th? Yeah, Friday, August the 16th, 2024, and this is Flosstube 80 something. 84, 85, maybe 85. I don't remember. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about my cross stitch. And if you're returning to my channel, welcome back. If I sound weird, it's because I am fighting off an upper respiratory infection. I also apparently pulled a muscle in my back, so I am currently living on Dayquil and Robaxin. Fun times, but we're going to see if we can get through this. I may have to pause here and there. Be a few minutes for me, but just a second for you. But if there's breaks in the video, that's why. Also, I was planning on pausing anyway because I'm going to draw my projects and then I'm going to go in my closet back behind me and get the projects instead of pulling everything out, because I don't really want to be picking up anything super heavy. I can just go in there and pull them individually and then bring them back here. So anyway, let's get on with it while the Robaxin is kicked in and I'm feeling mediocre. Here's my board. I worked on all 10 projects again. I like being able to work on all 10 of them. Cat hair. I like being able to work on all 10 of them because I get to knock a little bit off of all of the totals as opposed to just a couple. So, but yeah, I got to work on all 10 projects. There was a couple that I only did a few hundred stitches on, but that's okay. That's more stitches than what I had at the beginning of the week, right? Right. Okay. I left my whip of shame over there. Dagnabbit. Hang on. Okay. This is going to be fun. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you is my whip of shame. The whip of shame are, whips of shame are a collection of whips that I've had for 10 plus years. This one, every month I pick two that I could potentially work on. I have you guys vote, and the winner is what gets worked on the following month. So for the month of August, my whip of shame is this Dimensions Gold Collection Magnificent Wizard. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Artwork is by Dom Mates, and I got this back in like 2001. I am doing this on with all the stuff that came in the kit. It's an 18 count black Ada. And so my goal for the whip of shame is to do about 100 stitches a day. If I can go over, I try to go over if I've got a thread to finish, I go ahead and finish off that thread. So this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And I got a total of 783 stitches on it. And I worked more in the castle area up here. You can really start to see it's becoming more of a castle now. I worked up. And then I got tired of working on these darker colors. Plus, right down here, I screwed it up. I didn't go over far enough on... It's hard for you guys to see, but there's a line of stitches right here. I didn't go over far enough on it, so the two lines below it are off, and so I have to pull those out and redo them. And I realized that when I went to go put in another color, and I was like, wait, why is this not matching up? But then I came down here and I started filling in this stuff right here. Oh, my head hurts. So yeah, I got 783 stitches on it, and liking how it's coming along so far. I'm debating this coming week if I'm going to keep going down and working on the wizard, or if I'm going to go back up to the castle. I don't really know. I don't know. Alara said, why don't you go... Alara said, why don't you go work on the dragon? And I said, because he's still sitting in the corner thinking about what he did to me the year before last year. And if you haven't been watching me that long, I think it was last year, I had set a goal to do like, I don't know, X number of stitches in the dragon, and his head got messed up somehow, and I had to pull like 600 stitches out of his head. I was so irritated. So he's still sitting in the corner thinking about what he did to me. But I might go down and maybe, now that this is kind of coming closer, maybe I'll work on the wizard's hat or something this coming week. Stop it. It's trying to fall out of my lap. But I might come down here and try to work on the wizard's hat a little bit. I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm liking how it's coming along. So I have 2 more weeks to work on it for this month. And when I go to pull my projects, I will go ahead and pull 2 contenders for the Whip of Shame for the month of September, and I will show them both to you and have you guys vote for the next couple weeks on which one you want me to work on for the month of September. I like the voting. The voting is fun. Okay. Next thing I'm going to show you is Day to Night Iceland. Yeah. Day to Night Iceland. This is a retired chart from Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by Lars Stewart. Sorry, I'm not like as chipper as I usually am because I just feel so run down, but I wanted to get this video out because I was able to work on all 10 projects and I wanted to pick new ones. So, it's 600 by 430. I don't know how many colors it has. Does it actually say it on here somewhere? No, it does not. It does not say how many colors, but it's a lot. Probably about, I know it's over 100, maybe like 150-ish, I don't know. But anyway, Day to Night Iceland by Lars Stewart, 600 by 430. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I'm in the upper left-hand corner, and I converted this into a diagonal, as I'm doing with all of my full coverage pieces, because I am all about the diagonals right now. I usually stitch in hand, but this one is in a Q-snap because I had started this piece when I was in my Q-snap days, and I just haven't taken it out of the Q-snap because I don't need to yet. So anyway, this is what it looked like last time you saw it, and I put 479 stitches in on this. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on, I think this might be like I want to say 28 count, easy count Lugana, because I can see the holes pretty good without the magnifier. So I want to say it's the 28 count. And this is where I'm at with it. So up here, like this was, so I'm converting it into a diagonal, and I do my diagonals 20 stitches wide. So I didn't have to do anything up here because this diagonal, as you can see, it ends like right there. And I know that's hard to see, but there is stitching up there already in the corner because it's white. But I'm working on that diagonal, and there's one color left to finish this diagonal off. See where that line is? That's going to get covered up with B5200, but I didn't want to do any more B5200 because I hate stitching white. So I set it aside, and I'll finish it the next time I pull it out, and then I'll go into the next diagonal, and then I'll have some up here and then some down here. But I'm really liking how that's coming along. So like I said, I did 479 stitches on it. I now have a total of 103 10,000, no, I don't know how to read. 10,377 stitches done out of 258,000. I am at 4.02%. So, and this will stay in the basket. My door's open, by the way. I've noticed a few people, and I've noticed it too, looking like going back to edit and stuff. I've noticed that the echo is not as bad when the door is open. And apparently other people noticed it too, so the door stays open now. I had it closed so you wouldn't see out into the dark hallway. But it's okay. But this will continue to stay in the basket until I hit my goal of 10,000 stitches. So, felt like I had a cat hair on my lip. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I can't put it down here. I was debating on if I was going to try to keep them up here so I don't have to bend down when I pull my projects, but I just remembered I'm going to pull all the projects and then I'm going to go, so I'll be able to bend at the knees instead of bending at the waist. So that it's okay. All right. Next up is, hang on. I want to try to show this in a specific order. So that was one full coverage. My other full coverage that I worked on is from Cross Stitch for Everyone. It's called Happy New Year, and it's cross stitch the number 4 everyone, and I specify that because this pattern is available. I'm looking for it on Pattern Keeper. This pattern is available on her Etsy site. However, if you join her Facebook group, she has patterns for free in her files section, and that's where I got this. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done, and I am doing the background. It's not black, it's $9.39. But I am doing the background because I thought it would, I just thought it would look better if I did it. So I'm doing it 1/1 on a 28 count easy count Lugana. I didn't really get a whole lot of stitching done on this because of what I'm doing regarding daily stitching, because I'm doing 100 stitches a day on my Whip of Shame. And then I've also changed how I'm doing my Hate Cell, which I'll show you later. So I'm doing daily stitching on that too. So that takes up time from the other stitching, the regular stitching. So, but that's okay, because again, no rush. We're not in a rush anymore. We're not in a rush to get things done by the end of the year. I think that's what my problem was before. I felt like I had to get X number of stitches by the end of the year because that's what I was always setting goals for myself for. And I changed up what I do, and I'm not in a rush anymore. So it doesn't matter that I only got 180 stitches on it this week. It's okay. It's all right, because we're not in a rush. We're taking our time and enjoying the process. So last time you saw it, it was kind of blocky. And I am converting this into a diagonal. So I finished one diagonal because there wasn't a whole lot to do, because most of it was stitched because of when I was doing the block stitching. And like I said, I did 180 stitches on it. And I wanted to kind of see, because this is all going to be $9.39. So this thread right here is from when this diagonal ended, and then there was all this block stitching here. So I came up here and I just kind of made myself like a little parallelogram, and then when this gets pulled again, I'll fill that parallelogram in, and I'll just kind of keep working down to get that done. So I have a total of 980 stitches completed out of 75,240, and I am at 1.3% done. So there's that. And I was debating, I've been thinking about this. I don't know with this piece in particular. It's going to be a while before I get to this part, that part anyway. But if I work this in the diagonal, so normally with the pieces, when you work in a diagonal, it's fine because there's stuff to do throughout the whole piece, right? Even if it's background, for the most part, there's stuff to do. But with this one, once I get done with the fun stuff, it's just boring ass background, like solid color, one color background, right? So I was debating on doing it in a diagonal, which, like I said, this is going to be a while before I need to make a commit to a decision. And even then my plans change anyway. But I was debating on continuing working in a diagonal, however, only doing the 939. So that I would still be working in a diagonal, but I would only be doing the 939. Kind of like how Alara's doing all the black in her Dragons of the Sabbat piece. Because there's still 51,076 stitches of 939 to go. And my concern is that once I get through the fun stuff of the ornaments and the clock, that I won't want to keep working on it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be so aggravated that all I have left is 939. So I was debating on maybe working in the diagonal, going through the whole piece, but focusing on the 939. And then if I get bored of the 939, because then I could maybe throw in like a thread here or there of another color. Like if I'm like down here and I get bored with it, maybe I'll throw a thread of a color in up here just for something different. But I don't want to do the diagonal and get all of the fun stuff done and then have nothing but 939, because I'm worried that I will set it aside because I'll get tired of it. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Like I said, I still got a ways to go on that. All right. Next up are my two non-full coverage pieces. First one is Cookie Time, and this is from Soda Stitch on Etsy. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I do have this in Pattern Keeper. However, as you know, the back stitching doesn't show up in Pattern Keeper. So what I do when I have something like this is, if it's in Pattern Keeper, is I use Pattern Keeper for the cross stitching. And then, hang on, I gotta take a breath. And my eye itches. Okay. To catch my breath for a minute. I did go see a doctor about this whole thing, and they tested me and my COVID swab was negative. That was their big concern. So they said it was an upper respiratory infection, but except for the nasally stuff, a little bit of shortness of breath and the coughing, they said just ride it out because it sounded to them like a virus. He did say if it gets worse, he was back, because I went to like an urgent care that my hospital that I work for owns, because it was only $25 for me to go there. That's sidetracking off of the cross stitching for a minute, because I don't want you guys to get concerned about me having to stop to breathe. He did say if it gets worse, he is back in the clinic on Sunday. Today's Friday, of course, and I went and saw them yesterday. And he said if it gets worse, that I could come back and see him on Sunday. I mean, I could go anytime, but he would be back there on Sunday. So, and it is easier seeing the same provider because they are already familiar with how you were before. I've noticed that when I used to work in the emergency room, or even working in the clinic that I work at now. So I work for a wound and reconstructive plastic surgery doctor. And, so we get patients that routinely come back to see us when they're dealing with chronic wounds. And, and sometimes if one of the other nurses, end up with the patient and they're like, I don't know if it's worse, they come and get the one who had him last time. I'm like, oh yeah. So anyway, so if I'm not feeling better by Sunday, I'm gonna go back to the same. That was my point. But I'm okay right now. It's just when I talk a lot, it's hard to breathe. That sounds worse. Anyway, okay. Cookie time. Back to the stitching. Cookie Time by Soda Stitch. I have it in Pattern Keeper. So I'm using the Pattern Keeper for the cross stitching. And then when I want to when I want to do back stitching on this, what I'll do is I tap those 3 lines right there, and that pulls up the menu, and I view the PDF. And there. And then you can see the back stitching part. So that was over the cookie, which is in the top corner. And when you look in Pattern Keeper, yes, I know I'm showing part of the pattern, but you're never gonna be able to make this out from this. So it's whatever. One moment. This is that same part I just showed you, but no back stitching. So I use the Pattern Keeper for the cross stitching so I can check how far along I am with it. But then when I want to do the back stitching, I will pull up PDF and use that. All right, so last time you saw it, I still had to finish that cookie cutter that was underneath the heart-shaped cookie cutter. I'm doing this 2/2 full cross on a 28 count white Monaco. And so I finished the cookie cutter right here, and I decided that I wanted to move over to the candy jar. It's right here. So I wanted to move over to the candy jar. And between the cross stitching and the back stitching, I got 510 stitches done. And with the cross stitching part, I have, because of course Pattern Keeper doesn't count the back stitching. So regarding the cross stitching, I have 847 stitches out of 15,173, and I'm at 5.58%. But of course it's more stitching with the total stitches because of the back stitching that's included. So, but I got 510 stitches on this piece. And it's turning out really cute. I like it a lot. I like Soda Stitch's stuff. I like how in some of their, like the flower-shaped cookie cutter it's like fully backstitched, but the heart-shaped one and the whisk are not fully backstitched, and I like how they do that. I like the effect it gives. Makes it fun. Okay, so there's that one. Next. Not that. What was my other one that was a non? Oh, no. Oh, God bless. This piece. Home Sweet Home from Design Works. Comes in a kit. I'm using whatever came in the kit. I want to say it's like a 14 count Black Ada. Yeah. Artworks by Nanette Parisi, designed by Nanette Parisi. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. This is the second week in a row I pulled it. And I like it. But this is why I have so many projects, because I was like, oh my God, I'm getting sick of this piece. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. The color is different in the photo because it's the flower is a lot of pinks and it does not show up very well on camera, like when you're taking a picture. But it's not red, it's like pink. I got 233 stitches on this thing. And this is where I'm at with it now. So I got the H done in the second home, right? In the, yeah, the second home. I got the H completed, and I was doing it again. I was like doing white and then doing a color and then doing white and then doing a color. But I didn't get a lot of work on it, so. But yeah. Not gonna lie, if I pull this thing this week, I'm pulling something else. I need a break from it. I like it though. So like I just need a little bit of a break from it. It's getting on my nerves. But 233 stitches on that. Okay. Next up, I would like to show you my new start. And the one I pulled is Autumn Spice, and this is from It's So Emma. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. Not the sides, that's the finishing part, just that. And so I did 428 stitches on this. I don't have a before picture because it was a new start. I'm suspecting, because my new starts have a goal of 3,000 stitches, and I'm suspecting that this will be done before that 3,000 stitches is completed. If it's not, I think it's going to be really close to a finish, and I will throw it into my finish basket. But that's where I got with it so far. And I'm using whatever came in the kit. This is like a, because I got it as a kit. One of my subscribers sent it to me. It's a 14 count pale gray gingham by Fabric Flare. It's really pretty. I like the fabric. Because like when you're just looking at it, it almost looks like white when you're looking at it in person. But then when you look at it at the angle, then you're like, oh wait, no, there's gray in there. Cool. So I got 428 stitches. I was trying real hard to, when I was doing this, I was like, well, let me, because I started in the middle and I got that leaf done. And then I was realizing how much brown there was. So I was like, well, let me work on some of the brown. So I started working on this brown, this color brown. I did a thread of that. And then I was like, let me alternate. And so I did this green leaf, and then I did more brown, and then I did this green leaf, and I did this color brown here. And then I sat there and I just looked at it for probably about 10-15 minutes because it was getting kind of late. Because because I didn't really want to do another strand of brown. But then all the other stuff was like, all the other leaves were like on the bigger side that I could easily, well, no, they're all bigger. And I was like, do I really want to start on another leaf tonight? No, I don't. So I set it aside. So 428 stitches on this. So for my new starts, I'm going to continue to pull. This was new start number 2 since I changed my plans up. So it's going to be a few more weeks before you see that piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a total of 5 new starts, 1 per week. And then once I hit the 5, then instead of pulling another new start, I'm going to pull one of the previous new starts. And I will rotate through those until I hit the 3,000 stitches on each one. And once it gets 3,000, it will go into my vacation basket. My vacation basket is the basket of whips that are currently on vacation until I get to them. Here it is. But this one here, once it hits 3,000, if it's not finished, it's going to go into my finished basket because it's a very small piece. Okay, next up is my work on it till it's finished piece. I don't know. So this is Halloween letters from Primrose Cottage Stitches, designed by Lindsay Waite. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm not really sure why I put this in. I'm not really sure why I put this in my stitch until it's finished basket because there's still a lot to do. I only had these 2 lines completed. I still have to do these 3 and this one. It's whatever. Okay, so Halloween letters. I'm doing it mostly with the called for thread on a 16 count, I think, milk chocolate Aida. It calls for Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and some DMC. One of the colors was Weeks Dye Works Coal, which is black. And I'm not doing fancy black, so I'm subbing out 310. And then another one was Whitewash from Weeks Dye Works. And I'm not doing fancy white. So I'm subbing out B5200 like it suggested, because it does give alternatives for all the colors. But the rest of the colors, it was Blooming Crocus from Classic Colorworks and Amethyst from Weeks Dye Works and Moss from Weeks Dye Works. So I am doing those. And the other thing I decided to sub out was the, for the little ghosts that are here, I decided to do a glow-in-the-dark thread. So this is what it looked like the last time you saw it. And I got a total of 444 stitches on this thing. I worked in the bottom line. Oh, and real quick, before hopefully I actually listen to this and I actually insert this picture where I say I'm going to. Real quick, so you saw what it looked like the last time. Here's another picture, because I don't know where I put the photo. But I have one ghost done, right? And I decided to check the glow-in-the-dark thread to see if it works. And it does! Check out this ghost. Isn't he adorable? Look at him glowing in the dark. So it's the Petite Silk Lame glow in the dark thread. Hang on, let me get this kind of, there we go. This stuff right here, that's what I'm using. And I had turned the lights off in the room so I could check the thread. And this was glowing in the dark too. But yeah, so I got 444 stitches on it in the bottom line, and this is where I'm at with it so far. See, as you can see, there's still a lot to do. But, you know, it's whatever. I'm just going to keep going with it. I mean, it's really cute. And I did want this, I think I did call for this to be a finish this year. I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but it'll get done. Because it's going to be in my work on it till it's finished basket, until it's finished. So there's a few pieces that I'm questioning my choices on what I thought would be a finish in a reasonable amount of time. There it is. All right. Next up are my 3 focus pieces. So this first focus piece is for my teenager. He had asked me to stitch this for him. This is from Stitchman Darcy on Etsy, and it's called Yippee. It's called Yippee Kaye, motherfucker. It's from Die Hard. It's from Die Hard. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. This is it's $191 by $79, and it is compatible in Pattern Keeper. Some of his projects have back stitching. This one looks like it has some back stitching too, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Now I got to pull up the PDF and look at the PDF. I was thinking this one did not, but I think it does. Oh, it does. That's okay. Son of a mother. Okay, so that might be my next goal when I work on it this week. Oh man, nuts. Okay. Anyway, so my goal is to finish this. And here's where it was last time you saw it. It was a new start. I pulled this out to be kind of a focus piece so I could try to finish it for him this year. And oh my god. Cross stitching wise. Yay, F you. Cross stitching wise, there are 6,661 stitches, which is what I have on my tracking board. But since I just now realized that there is back stitching, that number's going to change. But that's where I'm at with it so far. I did 255 stitches. I did this letter block right here. So maybe when I pull it out this week, I will focus on the back stitching. That makes sense though, because you can't see the white that goes around the U, but you would be able to see it if it was back stitched. But anyway, so cross stitching wise, I have 739 stitches done out of 6,661, and I'm at 11.09%. Good going. How did I just now realize that? I don't know why I just realized that. Anyway. But it is compatible in Pattern Keeper, if you're interested. And I got that on Etsy. Okay, next up is my Heaven and Earth style. This is a closed stitch along, so you can no longer join it. Oh, my drink's over there. I'm thirsty. It's getting really bright in here. I'm gonna pause this for a second because one, I want my beverage, but two, I need to open these blinds because the sun, I think, went behind some clouds or something, because now these lights are like, I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, so the Heaven and Earth Sal. The Sal is now closed. It was only open for like a month at the end of last year to sign up. But if you have not heard about it, we had 10 charts. They were very small charts, like 61,500 stitches was the most. It was between 60,000 and 61,500. Small crops of a few different pieces. So you could pick any one of those pieces to stitch, and if you completed 4 pages by the end of the year, then you'll receive all 10 of the Sal charts. And if you complete the entire piece by the end of the year, you get all 10 Sal charts plus 2 charts off the Haid website. So of course I'm trying to finish it because I want the free stuff. And honestly, you guys, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know how I am. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for the free stuff, I probably would have forgotten about this piece and set it aside a long time ago. Because I have a very hard time sticking to stuff. So I chose Merry Mushroom Village Picnic 2 by Amy Stewart. This is a small crop, a snippet of the Merry Mushroom Village Picnic. It's 300 by 205. It has 90 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And my goal is to finish it before December 31st. And last time you saw it, so I've been working kind of all over the place. So the picture that you're going to see is from my diagonal picture. because that's really the only part that's had changes to it. I decided to convert it to a diagonal, and I'm doing it 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana. And so when I do tent stitch, my stitches go from left to right because I just do the bottom leg. So tent stitch, if I convert it into a diagonal, I want my stitches go left to right. So I want my diagonals to go from right to left. Because in my head, it's like counterbalancing the direction of my stitches. And so far, I've been doing that on a few different tent stitch pieces, and I have not seen lines, which is the problem I was having when my stitches went from left to right and my diagonals went from left to right. I noticed I was getting diagonal lines. So I tried it on Honeymoon Sunset, and I wasn't seeing lines. So I've started doing tent stitch left to right with diagonals going right to left on other pieces, and I have not noticed lines. So this is where I'm at now. And I've been filling in this diagonal. I completed this diagonal. I just realized I completed this diagonal here. And I started on this diagonal here. So I've almost got the green completed, working my way up into the mushroom. Getting there. So like I was saying before, I'm kind of changing up how I'm doing this thing, because picking one day to work on it and trying to get, like, I had originally said if I did 1,200 stitches a week, I would have it done before the end of the year. And then I got behind on it because of moving and whatnot. So what I started doing a couple weeks ago is I was doing 100 stitches a day on my whip of shame, and then I decided, I worked it out, I did the math, and the stitches total remaining in the piece divided into how many days were left in the year, where it was like 187 stitches a day would get me a finish by December 31st. So I was like, well, I'll just do a nice round 200 stitches a day on it. And doing that has dropped me down to 184 stitches a day needed to finish by the end of the year. Now, if I had done that from the beginning, if I would have done 168 stitches a day on this, then like that's kind of like my, what's it called? My guideline, something along that, something. By the way, I cut my hair. If you watch me before, you know I always wear my hair up. I got sick of it. I just realized I didn't say that in the beginning. I got sick of my hair, and so Sunday night I flipped my head over and I just grabbed my hair and I just cut. I'm not paying for a haircut. I have other things to spend my money on. Cut my hair off. It looks cute though. It has like a little bit of a curl to it when it's shorter, so I usually will just like put a little bit of mousse and some curling gel in it, and then it looks cute until it starts growing out. Anyway, I went like this. I was like, oh, I never mentioned anything about my hair. So if you've watched me before, yes, I did cut my hair. Anyway. So I was using I think it was like 168 stitches a day as kind of like a goal that I want to try to get this down to where it's either at or below what would have been required had I been doing this from the very beginning. And I think what I might try to do starting this weekend is I'm still going to do 200 stitches a day, but on the weekends, I think I'm going to try to do, I feel like I have to sneeze. On the weekends, I'm going to try to do 400 stitches a day, like on Saturday and Sunday. And that'll jump the number. So I'll kind of like speed up the whole process. So I have now a total. So, okay. So this is released in parts, and part 4 is going to get released in October. There's only going to be a few thousand stitches for part 4. Parts 1, 2, and 3 right now are, because this has 61,500 stitches. Parts 1, 2, and 3 that have been released is a total of 58,860. I currently have 36,040. So I'm at 61.23% done with parts 1, 2, and 3. I know I'm over 50% for the whole piece. I'm not doing all that math. So that's where I'm at with that so far. So I will keep plugging away at this. So I'll do 200 today, but then Saturday and Sunday I'll do 400 a day, just to try to get me to a more comfortable point, because I want to finish this before December the 31st. I don't want to be panic stitching on the very final day and miss the cutoff to get the free crap. Okay. Last thing I'm going to show you is Honeymoon Sunset. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. I didn't get a lot. Oh, Merry Mushroom Village. I didn't tell you. I did 1,547 stitches on it since the last time you saw it. I didn't even mention that part. So actually doing 200 stitches a day on it is because I do the 200, but I will finish the thread. So sometimes it's over 200. Like I think yesterday I got like 246 and the day before I did 250. So it's actually working out better doing the 200 a day as opposed to doing 1,200 a week like I was originally doing. Obviously because I did 1,547. Anyway, Honeymoon Sunset by the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork's by Abraham Hunter. It's 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing it 2 over 1/10 stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And I did 506 stitches on it. I did convert this into a diagonal going from the right hand side. I have a goal now. My original goal with this piece this year was to do 25,000 stitches on it. I got that done. And I updated my goal. I was going to try to get it to 40% next year, because when I got the goal done, I was at 34.5%. I was like, well, let me see if I can get it to 40%. And then I started doing math, like next year. And then I started doing the math because I wanted to keep it out. And I was like, well, maybe I could get it to 45% by the end of next year if I keep it out this year too and keep working on it. Because I hit this goal in the month of July. So my new goal is to get it to 45% by the end of 2025. Now, if I don't hit the goal, it's okay. I'm not gonna burst into flames if it doesn't happen. You know, I'm not gonna get banned from the cross stitching world if I don't hit the goal. But I want to see if I can do it. So when I had done the math, damn it, never mind. I was going to say how many stitches it was going to be total. But my stitch count goes down when I'm on my tracking point. So never mind. But anyway, I did 506 stitches on it. I am converting this into I did convert this. Well, it's always going to be converting because I'm doing this in a diagonal. But when I started stitching this, I was going all over the place. So there's going to be stitching everywhere. But you see how nice that looks? So I did more in this diagonal here. And like I said, I got 506 stitches on it. And yeah. So I don't know how many weeks it's going to take me to get through this diagonal, only because it took me 2 weeks to do this part, but I had only done past couple weeks I've done less than 1,000 stitches on this because I've been trying to focus on other stuff. But if I can do like 1,000 stitches on it, I could probably get like maybe that. So it's gonna be a few weeks before I get done with this diagonal, because they're gonna get longer and longer as I continue to move down the piece until I hit that bottom corner there. And then they're gonna stay pretty long until it hits the other side into the tree of hell. All right, let me see. Let me tell you my total. So I did 506 stitches on it, and I now have a total of 195,531 out of 563,981, and I am at 34.67%. All right, let me see if I can stand up without hurting too much. It's when I'm sitting in my chair, I'm okay, but when, I mean, the Robaxin's kicking in, so I think I'll be okay. When I'm getting up is when I'm having a hard time. Okay. But yeah, so that's the corner that I'm working in right now. I haven't gotten into that sneaky, there's a palm tree that's trying to sneak in right here. Another palm tree. I hate palm trees. But another palm tree is trying to sneak in right there. I haven't gotten to it yet, as you can see. But this is the lighthouse that's coming in, because I've been working on this for a couple years. And so I've worked to all four corners. There's a sailboat. I've worked to all four corners. There's a gazebo right here. Right there. This is going to be a house. This blue stitching right here, it's going to be a house. I worked in that corner too. So my diagonals will get longer and longer until I hit this bottom corner here, and then they'll kind of stay the same length. I just won't have as many stitches to do in various diagonals depending on when I hit that center part that I've worked on. And then they'll start decreasing once the actual diagonal that runs and hits this corner. Once I hit that diagonal, which will be a very long time, once I hit that diagonal, then my diagonals will get shorter and shorter. So let me back up so you can, I know there's part threads, so it's, and this is like, that's how, I'm like almost to the wall trying to show you this whole thing. But that's where I'm at with it so far. And that's where I'm working. So for the colors, the color that has the most amount of stitches is 3779, which I'm not surprised because that's the color that's in the sand and it's scattered in the sky and all that. And that's at 26,721. And the color, I have no zeros on this. The color that has the least amount of stitches is 3851. And that's 100 stitches. And I was like, oh, I wonder where that's going to be. And I looked, and that won't get done until the end, because the final small amount of stitches for that color is going to be in this corner here, which is where my diagonals will end. So I will probably hit a 0 on 3779 before I hit a 0 on 3851. But anyway, I'm excited because for all of my colors are less than 30,000 stitches. So that's exciting to finish them off. Okay, so that's all 10 of my projects. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull the slips for the projects I'm going to work on in the upcoming week, and I'll also pull 2 contenders for the Whip of Shame for the month of September. And I'm going to pause the video, get all that out, and show it to you. Okay, so this is the non-full coverage basket. So we're gonna pull 2 projects from here. And if I pull Home Sweet Home again, it's gonna get set aside. We're gonna pull something else because I need a break from that piece. First one up is Christmas Rules. I didn't update my boards yet. Let's pull this and then we'll update the boards. I'm out of sorts. I need more sorts. Next up. Yes! It's a Marshmallow World. Oh, yes. Okay. Full coverage. I still have my other basket that I've been drawing out of for the past couple years, the black and red plaid one. It's in my closet. That's where all of, like, I don't know. I think I have my non-full coverage vacation whips in it. There's a lot of them, so I just left it in there. Okay, first up for full coverage is checking the list. Ooh, yes. And then the other full coverage for the week is Happy New Year. Okay. Now we are going to, I just realized I don't have a new start thing. Okay, now in here I have my finishes and my green. The white is my finishes and the green is the Whips of Shame. So I'm gonna pull, I gotta pull from both colors anyway. But my first Whip of Shame, oh wait, nope, that's my current one. It's Magnificent Wizard. I did not plan this very well. Okay, so first Whip of Shame up for voting will be Goodnight Bears. There's my finish project. I'll show that in a minute. The other one will be Beauty and the Beast. So those are going to be the 2 Whips of Shame. And then the stitch work towards a finish will be Calendar, Jesus Christ. Calendar Girls, oh my God. Calendar Girls April. Calendar Girls April. There we go. All right, let me pause and get my Happy New Year, or not Happy New Year, my new start basket. Hang on. Okay. I feel like Alara. Did you guys see her last video where she had to pause like 5 million times because her husband kept calling her? Here's my new starts. Yeah, I feel like I have to pause 5 million times as well, but it's all my own fault. Okay, so my new start for the week is going to be Halloween Spell. I think this is going to be a tiny one, so yeah. Okay, so before I pause again for that 30-second clip, before I pause again, let's go ahead and update my boards while we're here. Okay, so I think if I, since I'm doing these ones, yeah, they're pretty light. Okay, I was worried about, I ordered, so before anyone makes a comment, I ordered wet erase markers. I'm just waiting for them to come. This is my full coverage board. I'm just waiting for the wet erase markers to come, and then I'm going to replace the names of these whips because they're written in dry erase, and I'm going to replace them or rewrite them in wet erase marker so that they don't get erased on me too quick. Okay, I did prepare for this part and I did the math already. I just gotta find this stupid, oh no, where's that? Oh, here it is. It's right in front of my face. Okay, I did do the math and I did get this part prepared already. So, I just need, hang on. I don't know what happened to the eraser that was on this one. Hang on. I need, oh, it's on this board. Okay. I got these boards on Amazon and they come with little magnetic erasers, which I love. Okay, so what is this? The full coverage. So I have a goal for all my full coverages to get 10,000 stitches on them. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping what I've stitched in this column, and we're bringing these numbers down as they get worked on. So the first one up is day to night Iceland, and I have 3 columns of numbers because I didn't want to draw lines. I didn't want to tape lines because I was worried about marker residue getting all over the tape and getting really ugly. So number 7 is day to night Iceland, and I did 479 stitches on it. And number 7, we're going to erase this 10,000, and this will drop down to 9,521. And then the other one was Happy New Year, 180. Number 11, yeah. And this total is now 9,820. So there's my full coverage one. And let's see if I can put these boards down this week without making a huge ruckus. Okay. Next up is non-full coverage. Ah, it's attacking me. Okay, first one up is cookie time. I did 510 stitches. It's number 5. 510 stitches. My non-full coverages, I want to get 5,000 stitches on them. If these goals get done and it appears that it would be less than 5,000 stitches to finish them off, then I'm going to put them in my finish basket when this goal gets hit. Cookie time, 4,490 stitches left to hit that goal. And then the other one is Home Sweet Home. So we're going to add my 233 to this number here. So it's now 684. And this new total is now 4,316. So there we go. See, it's fun watching the numbers go down. Okay. Next up. I went ahead and wrote Autumn Spice on here because that was my new start that I pulled. And let me fix this. I didn't like writing it in red. 1540. Ooh, yeah, because that's like drying out. Let me just change these to blue. 1460. Okay, so my new starts that I pull, as you can see, I only have 3 or 5 spots open. So once these spots get filled, they are going to, I'm just going to pick from these 5 until they hit their 3,000 goal. Then when they hit their goal, they will go, they will get set aside and they will get replaced with another new start. So as time goes on, this is going to just be like all kinds of fun. Okay, Autumn Spice. I did 428 stitches on it. So for this goal, it is down to 2,572. Ouch. Okay. And then I need to change this one too. This gingerbread train. Let me just change this to blue marker. Okay. So for the working to a finish part, I don't really have stitch goals for these because I don't know how many stitches it's going to be to finish them. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, on the finish column, I'm going to write the date I finished it. And like I have 15 that I'm picking from. And if one gets finished, I'm going to write the finish date, and then nothing new will go into this finish column, like basket, until one of these gets done. And then once one gets done, if I have one that needs to be put into the basket, then it will replace that one. What did I pick, or what did I work on? Halloween letters. How many stitches did I get? 444. Oh my God, it's way down here. 444. So there's that one. Okay. Last board. Okay. I didn't really think this through. Hang on. I need the eraser. Oh, maybe that's how I ended up with 2 erasers on that one board, because I needed one for this last week. Okay. So, this last little board has the Haid Style Honeymoon Sunset, my Whip of Shame, and then my son's piece that I'm working on for him. Okay, so for the Merry Mushroom Village, I now have 36,040 stitches and stitches remaining. Now this is remaining for the entire piece, not just parts 1, 2, and 3. Stitches remaining are now 25,460. That's exciting. Honeymoon Sunset. This is how many stitches I have left to hit the 45% by the end of next year. Stitches completed so far is going up to, hang on, 965. Stitches remaining on this to get it to 45% is down to 58,261. All right, Magnificent Wizard. We are up to, for the month, 1,630. And I wanted to get 100 a day, so that was a goal of 3,100 because there's 31 days in the month of August. So my goal has dropped to 1,470 stitches. Now, if I go over the goal, that's fine. But that's my goal, is to get another 1,470. Okay, yippee-ki-yay. This is going up to 739. So this is dropping down to 59.22. However, there is back stitching on it. So let's increase this. So it's supposed to be 59.22. But we're going to add, I don't think it's going to take this many, but let's add 1,000 stitches. Because I think yippee-ki-yay and then all the blocks, and inside the blocks, maybe it will. Let's add 1,000 stitches to that total. So instead of 59.22, we're going to do 69.22 to account for back stitching. But that's still going to be an estimate. So, okay. So my boards are all updated. The only ones that really have a deadline are the Haid Sal, so I can get the free stuff. And then Honeymoon Sunset is that, so the Haid Sal is the end of this year. Honeymoon Sunset is the end of next year. And Honeymoon Sunset is just a goal that I want to hit, not really so much that I have to hit it. The rest of it, the Yippee Kaye piece, my son would like me to get it done, but at this point, he's just happy I'm working on it. So there's no set deadline for that. Everything else, I'm just like, I'll stitch it. We'll just slowly pluck away at it. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video. Again, pull the pieces that I'm gonna work on for next week, come back and show you. I'll be right back. Okay. So the two full coverage pieces I'm going to work on. First one is Happy New Year, and I already showed it to you once. I feel like it's been forever since I've shown it because I keep having to pause. But this is the piece from Cross Stitch for Everyone. So for right now, I'll keep working in the 939. So there's that. And then the other full coverage piece that I will be working on this week is checking the list. And this is from Charting Creations. Artwork is by Marcelo Corti. It is 280 by 419. It has 80 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm going to convert this into a diagonal as well, because I am all about diagonal stitching right now. And that is my starting point. Oh, by the way, my shirt. So I get comments here and there about my shirts. This says pivot, 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 pivot. And it's got the couch. Shut up, shut up, shut up. It's from Friends. And I got it on Amazon. Okay. I didn't think this through. Okay, here we go. The two non-full coverage pieces that I'm going to be working on this week. First one is from Sugar Stitches, and this is called It's a Marshmallow World. And I got this on Etsy from the Sugar Stitches Etsy shop. And this is my starting point on that. I don't remember what kind of fabric this is. 16 count milk chocolate Aida. I wanted that. I saw the Virginia Stitcher stitching this on milk chocolate Aida, and I felt like the colors really popped on it, so I went with that too. Okay, so there's that one. And then the other non-full coverage piece that I will be working on is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, and this is Christmas Rules by Lindsay Waite. That's what it's going to look like. And I'm doing this on some kind of gray Aida. That's my starting point with that. So these, like I was saying, have a goal of 5,000 stitches. So we'll see where this one is at the end of the 5,000. It might be able to go into the finished basket when it's done. Okay, the piece that I'm going to work towards a finish is Calendar Girls April. This is from Little House Needleworks. And I'm doing them on a 32 count Legacy Lugana from Picture This Plus. That's what that one's going to look like. This is from their series from 2014. And that is my starting point with her. I don't know if I will be able to get her completed because I think the other times where I worked on it once and then the other times where I worked on these little calendar girls twice and got them completed, the second time I had worked on it really for like 2 days. So, and I want to work on all the pieces this time. So I'm not sure if this one will get completed this week. We'll have to see. Okay. So that's my working towards a finished piece. And then my new start for the week is from, well, it's Shannon Wasseliff, but it's Shannon Christine Designs. And it's going to be this one here. Come in for a spell. And I had picked it up, this whole setup, as a kit on Pain Free Crafts. So it came with the floss and the beads. Came with the floss and the beads. I didn't realize that there was beads in it. And it came with this fabric for each piece. I'm actually, because the grid lines wash out. I might go ahead and just do it on that because they're pretty small. So let's see. What is it, like 50 by 60 something? $50 by $50. Yeah. Yeah, so they're 50 by 50. And they're not full coverage. So I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, would I get this done in one session? I don't know. We'll see. It definitely won't need the 3,000 stitch goal that my new starts have. But yeah. Anyway. I think that's it. So those projects plus my 3 focus pieces of the Haid Style Honeymoon Sunset and then the Yippee Kaye and my Whip of Shame. Oh, Jesus, that's not it. Time for you guys to vote for the Whip of Shame. Oh my God, for the month of September. I can't believe I almost forgot. Okay. So the first one up is from an old kit that I got from Designs for the Needle, and this is from Jan Lynn, and this is called Goodnight Bears, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's not quite full coverage, but it's kind of full coverage in a way, in that like there is a strip of border around here, but all this in here is all stitched. So it's kind of full coverage. I got this in 2004. And this is where I'm at with it so far. I had done a center start. I've been working on this for a long time, but that's the first one up. I have no plans, obviously, because I've been working on this for 20 years. I have no plans to give this to anybody, so no skin off my nose when this thing gets done. And the other one is Beauty and the Beast. This is one of the Disney Dreams collection Thomas Kincaid things that MCG Textiles had put out. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I got this way back in the day. I also had the Little Mermaid that I haven't started yet. 2011 is the copyright on it. And I think I probably bought it not long after it came out. And this is my starting point on that one. So that's where I'm at with that. So you guys vote which one you would like to see. I'm suspecting I know which one you guys are going to vote for. I feel in my heart that I know which one you guys are going to vote for. I could care less either way. They're both really old pieces, and it doesn't bother me either way which one wins, because they both need to get worked on. So yeah, vote in the comments below. Voting will be open until August 31st. Where's my utilities so I can get my calendar? Today's the 16th. So my next video will be on the 22nd. The video after that will be the 30th. That will be when voting will end. So August the 29th, voting ends. Because I'm going to film on August the 30th, and I will show which one is the winner, because I will start working on that project for 100 stitches a day that weekend, that Sunday. I might even, depending on if I hit my goal on Magnificent Wizard by the 30th, which I'm pretty sure I will, but if I hit my goal on Magnificent Wizard of 3,100 stitches by the 30th, then I'll just go ahead and set that aside and pull out the winner and just start on that. We'll do it that way. We'll see. We'll have to play that by ear depending on how many stitches I get on it. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so Goodnight Bears or Beauty and the Beast are the two that you have to pick from. So go ahead and vote in the comments down below. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Hello, Gracie. And the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. So, I want to film a stash dive and go through the patterns that I have that are not kitted up. That one's probably going to be a long one because I want to show the patterns I do have, and maybe I might pull out the fabric that I have and maybe try to match some stuff up. But that's going to have to wait maybe until Sunday when hopefully my back will be feeling better. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So hopefully I will be able to put a stash dive video up this week. But yeah, so take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.